Good that you've heard of something called cognitive dissonance. It's a term that's starting to get thrown around a lot these days. But you might not know that it has a really deep root in classic social psychology. In 1957, Leon Festinger wrote a book on the theory of cognitive dissonance and outlined a really detailed understanding of what cognitive dissonance is and how people deal with it. Let's start out by talking about what cognitive dissonance is. How would we define it? At the very basics, cognitive dissonance is about inconsistency. When we hold two thoughts that are inconsistent with one another, basically, that's dissonance. So let's take the example of someone who smokes cigarettes. Here's a person who might have two distinct thoughts, one of which is, I regularly smoke cigarettes. The other of which is the knowledge that smoking cigarettes is unhealthy. Here are two thoughts that a person can be having at the same time, acknowledging both of these things as fact, but they would seem inconsistent with one another. If you know that smoking is bad, then logically you probably wouldn't be engaging in that activity yourself. And so this is a case of dissonance because there's inconsistency in your own thought.
Number one, not getting enough exercise. This cognitive dissonance is when a student should include exercise in their daily life. But every day when they get home from school, they just lie around and sleep. This can affect a student's homework and being on time to class. My habit is I exercise. I go to a fitness gym every Friday. To break the bad habit of not exercising, a student should pick a time and every day and make sure you exercise at that time. Number two, not eating healthy. This cognitive dissonance is when a student knows what healthy foods are good to eat, but they still eat junk food. My habit is I stay away from fatty foods, and I also stay away from junk food and candy. To break the bad habit of not eating healthy, a student should always read content first and choose kiwi over candy. Number three, not doing homework. This cognitive dissonance is when a student knows that they have to do their homework to pass the class, but yet they don't do it. My habit of doing homework is on that day at 7 p.m. I start to do my homework. To break the bad habit of not doing your homework, a student should set aside a special time to do their homework. I hope my suggestions have helped others.